everyone. The topic of discussion in this video relates to public pretenders, aka public defenders. Now, I have been thinking about recording a video on this matter for some time. And so I decided to do it tonight. Well, actually, it's early morning now because it's a little after 1 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So, why am I awake, which is way past my bedtime, by the way? Why am I awake after 1 a.m. wearing a hat and sunglasses sitting in front of a webcam? Well, I have to somewhat hide my identity for various reasons. So anyway, that explains the hat and the sunglasses. And for a matter of fact, once I'm done recording this video and making sure that it's okay, I'm going to go to bed. I'm actually sitting here in my PJs as well. So anyway, that might be too much information, but I thought I'd share it anyway. So now back to the subject matter of the video, public pretenders, aka public defenders. Recently, I viewed an online show that was hosted by John Oliver. And I think that show Last Week Tonight, I think it is the title of that online show. That show related to public pretenders and how fucked up the system is in regards to them supposedly defending defendants. It seems to be the same all over the place. The public defender's office doesn't have enough funding. They're overworked, underpaid. So my question is, what the fuck is their purpose then? I mean, they're not defending, they're pretending to defend. A particular matter that I want to discuss has to do with the public defender who was just horrible. Fucking horrible. I'm not going to indicate what state the public pretender is in, but this guy was handling a case, or supposedly handling a case. The case went well over a year. The public pretender did absolutely nothing to prepare for a defense for the defendant, did not do any type of investigation, barely communicated with the defendant, went against court protocol, arranging the alleged victim to go to the defendant's workplace to pick up documents after the court stated that the defendant was not supposed to have any direct contact with the alleged victim. And it just goes on and on what the fucking public pretender did. Of course, the defendant was very proactive, and the defendant was not going to play dead, roll over into a fucked up plea or anything like that. So the defendant complained to the PD's supervisor, the supervisor's supervisor, and their supervisor. No one did anything about it. It went in one ear, came out the other ear. they're all full of shit. They're all full of shit. They don't want to do anything. They don't want to hear if there are any discrepancies. They don't want to hear if shit is inaccurate. All the public pretenders want to do is get the fucking case off their desk by any means necessary. They just want to get the case off their desk. That's one of the reasons why they try to get so many fucking the defendants to plea out. Because that's a quick way of getting the fucking file off their desk. And in a lot of cases, the fucking plea bargain isn't really a bargain at all. The public pretenders seem to be experts at trying to railroad people, whether they're guilty or not. They seem to be fucking experts at doing that. They don't give a shit. I mean, people's lives are nothing but, chess game pieces. And my thought is that the public pretenders and the district attorneys say to one another, you give me something, I give you something, and we'll do lunch. They're literally and probably figuratively in bed with one another. I mean, hell, their paychecks come from the same place. It's just, it's a fucking game to them. The public pretender's office is very broken. Granted, they're overworked and underpaid, and the funding for the public pretenders is probably not where it should be. But I don't think that's an excuse to not defend an individual or not properly defend an individual. So why the hell does public pretenders exist? Because the Sixth Amendment of the Constitution states that people have a right to effective representation, effective counsel. The problem is there's very little effectiveness in the public pretender's office. EAR, E-A-R, effective, adequate representation. While dealing with the public pretender, forget about it. You're not going to get an ear, literally or figuratively. Again, their intent is to get the case off their fucking desk as soon as possible by any means necessary. So what do you do if you have a public pretender that's not listening to you, that's not helping you, that's not doing anything? Well, the one thing you don't want to do is roll over and play dead. Know your rights. You do have rights. Now, if you're in custody, it's kind of hard to exercise those rights. But if you're out of custody, you have a better chance at exercising those rights. There are legal clinics. There's a lot of online information, legal libraries, and things like that that can assist you. In some states, there are even nonprofit law firms that will charge a client on a sliding scale basis based on their income. I know that in Los Angeles, there is a law firm that started up, I think, in 2014 that charges clients on a sliding scale. And as of this recording, the amount was between $65 and $125 an hour. Now, that's a considerably less amount than most other attorneys will charge for handling a criminal matter. So look online, Google low-cost legal representation or legal representation on a sliding scale or pro bono, things of that nature. Now, while there may be some pro bono firms that will take on a criminal case, not a lot of them will, unless, unless a person is obviously being railroaded or trying to be railroaded. So I would say use the internet. The internet is full of wealthy information. Now, in regards to dealing, having to be represented, if you want to call it that, by a public pretender, just know your rights, do your research, handle your business, and by all means, do not take what the public pretender says as gospel. You don't have to agree to everything the public pretender says. And you have a right to see the discovery and documents that they get from the other side. Don't let them tell you that you can't see them. Now, certain documents you can't see. If the documents have personal information regarding the alleged victim, you can't see those documents. But there are a lot of documents that you can see. And the documents that are presented to the public pretender from the DA is called discovery. So you want to request to see the discovery, as much of it as you can. Be proactive in your case. Don't just assume that the public pretender is working for you, because I can tell you he or she is not. Now, if I'm not mistaken, John Oliver indicated that approximately 95% of cases handled by the public pretender's office ends in a plea bargain. 95%. In addition, because of the volume of cases that public pretenders have, they have approximately 7 minutes to work on a case. 7 minutes. What the fuck is 7 minutes? Most guys take longer than that to take a crap. There might be some females that take that long as well, but typically guys take a while. But what the fuck is 7 minutes going to do? What kind of defense can you prepare in 7 minutes? I would say none. So my suggestion to you is try to find private representation, low-cost private representation, someone who's going to lend an ear, because the public pretenders don't. Now, granted, while there are a few public pretenders out there who might be genuinely concerned about the defendant, the majority of them are not. Or shall I say a good portion of them are not. They don't give a shit. They're getting paid either way. So, again, do your homework. Be proactive. Do not allow yourself to be railroaded by a public pretender, and do not take what they say as gospel. And in my suggestion is, don't trust what they say, because more than likely it's bullshit. Fight your fucking case. Fight your case. Don't roll over and play dead because they're offering you a deal that might sound good. Now, granted, if you've done something like murdered someone or whatever, a plea bargain might be, in your best interest. But if it's other matters and you feel that you're being railroaded, fight your fucking case. Don't let a fucking public pretender railroad you. Honestly, who needs the district attorney to try to screw you when your own fucking attorney is doing a damn good job for them? And that's basically what the public pretenders do. They're in cahoots with the district attorneys, which is fucked up, but it's true. So the bottom line is, handle your business, do research, know your rights, and if at all possible, retain a private attorney. Because as John Oliver says in his show regarding public pretenders, if you have to be represented by a public pretender, you're fucked. And on that note, I'm signing off and I'm going to go to bed.